within the last 6 months, I come to a place of realization where I was like, you know what? The reason why I'm in certain spaces of low energy and what's considered darkness and dark places and just in bad places was because of how I wasn't protecting myself. And I wasn't protecting myself with my boundaries. Like I was allowing my boundaries to be penetrated, and I was allowing anybody to be around me, even these kind of people that I'm talking about. Like earlier in the video, I mentioned invisible vampires, because this could be family members or people that's close to you, who you would least expect to be the ones that's actually draining you and putting you in bad spaces and places based on the energy exchange. They in a dark place, you lit up. They come to you, they drawn to your light like bugs at night when the light is on. And they get that juice and they get that energy. And now they feeling high and you start to feel low because they've exchanged, they dumped off their bullshit on you. And now you anchored down. And now you just in a sunken place while they lift it up. And then you got to work yourself out of that. Then eventually they going to fall back into that place. And then guess who they coming? You done worked yourself back up. You lit again. And now they coming back around. And boom, you see how that shit works? This is what they doing to you, seesawing your ass. When the ultimate reality is, when they fall and they try to come, you got to protect yourself. You got to stay centered. You got to stay balanced. And, let them go to God or whatever they call God, just like you. You got to deal with yourself. You've learned to deal with yourself. You've learned that it comes down to choices. These people are making choices. Most people are making choices that lead to them being in messed up situations. And we in 2020, ain't no more excuses. 5 years ago, even maybe a few years ago, people probably would say there's still no excuses. 5 years, but even 10 years ago, whenever, like we was in a different age. Now we in the age of seeing everybody's shit. So most people who are living in certain cycles are really literally choosing to, because we in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is about everybody seeing everybody for who they are. So if your level of discernment isn't raised and your level of awareness isn't raised, the only way you really can raise that is just by dealing with yourself. You got to know who you are. You got to deal with yourself. You got to change yourself. You got to go deep within. You got to go to the spirit, then go to the soul of your own self. You got to go deep so you can see other people for who they are. You can't see them if you just on the surface of your own self. You ain't even dealing with yourself. Shit, people gonna continue to fool you. They're gonna continue to manipulate you and get over on you. But if you deal with yourself, if you work on yourself and you do the necessary changes, then people can't get over on you unless you allow them to. So again, for years, I've been lifting people up, empowering them, and doing certain things in people's lives. It's just because it's my purpose to do so. But I didn't know that. I wasn't really conscious of that on that level. But I've come to a place where I realize it's part of my purpose to lift people up, inspiring them, encourage them, empower them, and light them up and shift their vibration and shift them into a higher place. I just do it so effortlessly because it's my purpose to do so. And I've been doing it for years. So I just had to come to a place recently where I realized that's what's been going on with me. And that's part of the reason why I would be in and out of, certain phases and seesawing. Yeah, I had to deal with my own self. But then I was still allowing others to just come around and just take stuff that I've worked on for years. And then put me right back in a certain situation, right back in a low self, a low vibes, while they riding high. And then, like I said, boom, you get back to your balance, you get a little high. They down here, it's like they can feel it. Oh, let me get that. And drop you back down in exchange. So again, just simple as protect your energy, Um, One of the things I've studied and researched for years, and now I'm not perfect, but I live in the principles of Ma'at. Ma'at is a Kemetic Egyptian goddess deity, and some of the principles of Ma'at is reciprocity, order, balance, justice, divine order. So, you know, that's how you gotta live. Just reciprocity. They gotta give just like you giving. If you giving and they just taking, then you gotta keep it moving. You gotta protect yourself. You gotta set boundaries. You gotta protect your energy. You gotta protect your temple, your person, and other people gotta learn how to do it themselves too. So yeah, something like that.